All right, guys, welcome back again. Monday morning, bright and early. We're talking about part two of budget. I'm really excited. Left off last time on a bit of a cliffhanger, and we were talking to the people that have $400 savings in their account at the end of the month. So there's 40% of Americans at the end of the month, all they have is $400 left. So if they lost their job, they wouldn't even be able to make it 1 month on that. We're kind of talking to those people today and those types of people that are living paycheck to paycheck. And we are actually confident, we don't think, that there are ways that you can squeeze money out that you didn't have any idea about, okay? To lay the foundation of this video, I just want to talk about one simple thing that a friend of ours told us one time, and it was so impactful for us. And it's so easy to do. Okay, you guys go into your bank, make sure you have online banking, like I said in the last video. Go into your bank and just say, listen, I want to set up as many savings accounts as you feel like. So Ruben in the last video talked about having different values. So I want a savings, I want a travel account, I want a savings account, I want an account for
education,
my dog,
my kids,
education, right. Whatever it's going to be, right? And so you've listed those out, and maybe there's 5 of them or 6 of them or whatever it happens to be, right? And so you just say, okay, I want to set up these different accounts. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. And then when you have online banking, what happens is you log in there, and then there it is. They're all listed right there. And it takes 5 seconds to transfer money into those different accounts, okay? And you can get it to auto transfer as well if you want to. So you can set them all up online. It's super easy to do. And you can get it to transfer $5 a month into this one and $50 a month into that one and $200 a month into that one if you want to. And every month it'll recurringly do that. Or if you want to, you can do it manually as well. So that's the foundation. I think if you haven't done this, if you haven't set something like this up, it is absolutely imperative and critical. And I know my wife and I did this quite a few years ago, and it's super empowering and super exciting to be able to see that it doesn't matter if there's a lot or a little in those accounts. What matters is that there's something in there. So even if it's, I have a dream to go to, Costa Rica and go on a trip or something like that, right? If all I can afford is $20 a month, I'm going to shove $20 a month in there. And guess what, guys? At the end of the year, I'm going to have $240 in there. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's something. It's seed money to get you going. And when you look at your online account and you see $240 in there that you probably wouldn't have had otherwise, you go, you know what? I'm that much closer to being able to make that trip happen, right? So now today we're going to talk about, I'm going to let Ruben kind of dive in here. And we're going to talk about ways that you guys can kind of squeeze your personal budget, look at the different aspects of it, and try and figure out ways to funnel money that you didn't think you had into these different accounts. What do you think, Ruben?
There you go. Yeah, excellent, Misha. Excellent introduction. You know what? People think that it's really hard to save, and it's more of a mindset other than an activity that would be difficult or not difficult. It's actually not difficult. It's a decision-making process. You decide, and then you put a process into it. You did describe it very well because you really got into it. We gotta find ways that will make it easier. There's a concept called friction. If you put friction in things, it'll be harder to achieve anything. Like a retail store, if they only receive cash and you want to pay with credit card, and you as a client, you look at it and say, why, right? Why would I only pay with cash? And a store is making their life more complicated if they only have cash, right? We have seen this, right? Yeah. That's an example.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That's called friction. Yeah. If you put friction in things, you make it more difficult. So you got to hack your life to accomplish the goals that you have established that are important. So let's go back to savings. Actually, before we do that, just a very quick clarification, Misha. You were almost absolutely right on the $400. Actually, it's even worse, right? It's even worse.
Really?
The stat says it's 40% of people do not have $400 in an emergency situation. Okay.
Do not have. I misunderstood that. Yeah.
So if you are in one of those situations, we are here for you. We're here for you with very simple ways that you can start shifting that. You're not a victim of it.
You don't understand. Ruben, you don't understand. I'm in debt like $50,000. The bank is like, they're hounding on me. I've got credit card debts coming through the roof.
There you go.
It's a nice concept to think about. I'm going to start funneling some money into a travel account, into my kids' college fund and stuff like that. I have zero money at the end of the month. I'm broke. I'm actually going backwards every month. What do you say to me?
Okay, I challenge you to do one thing.
Okay.
If you earn an X amount of money, let's say it's $2,000 or $3,000 per month, I don't know, anything like that. I bet you that if you were in a situation, and actually going through these times, really hard times, that you would be cut on that income somehow, and instead of $3,000, you earn $2,000 a month. I bet you that you will still survive. I'm not saying that you're going to have a wonderful life. I bet you that you still survive. Now, what is the point that I'm making this illustration more exaggerated so we can all understand? Our lives are actually designed by our decisions. We make a decision, we're designing our lives, right? And it's an addition of small and big decisions that are making the shape of our lives. So if you're earning $3,000 and if you're spending $3,001, you're responsible for that. Nobody else is responsible. Now imagine that you are in a situation like what happened with the coronavirus, right? Is that you all of a sudden earn just $2,000 or even less. I bet you're going to survive because you're going to find means to do it. Meaning that if you're in a situation that puts you in a hardship, that you will have to find a way to solve it. I guarantee you 99.99 that you're going to find a way to do it. That's the whole mindset thing is you got to be on a mindset of solving this problem like you had a paycheck cut. See? The thing is, you can simulate a paycheck cut internally and not having that pain, but having the benefit that you described about the savings. You got to be disciplined and break a big problem into small little pieces. And an excellent way that you did describe was, let me do this in an automatic way on online and bank account that I transfer automatically that amount of money on that date, and it's not mine. It's just like a tax. I pay the tax to myself. I pay the tax to myself. There was this study, Misha, that I read some time ago. It's fascinating. It's about people that actually earn the lottery. There's the UK lottery.
Oh, wow.
This is a case of the UK lottery, and I didn't know this, but there's actually a department, and a head of that department that has been on this department for about 30 years that take care of people psychologically and give them advice and just coaching how to manage their huge impact of all of a sudden earning millions, right? You might think that if you're not prepared psychologically to have a bunch of money, you're most probably going to have a huge problem. That's incredible. People think that money solves things, but that's not true. There's an educational process.
I forget what the stat is.
Exactly, right?
It's an incredibly high amount of people that after they win the lottery, they end up broke within a couple of years or something,
so
right?
what they found out, this is what the study found out. This guy was saying that he actually did inside stats for his company. He's working for the UK lottery. He said, what we found is a pattern. Anybody that has a specific behavior and has a pattern of a savior without money, so saving, he's saving money. And he has that pattern, that habit, and anybody that actually has a different pattern that spends everything they have, once they earn the lottery, they're going to have exactly the same behavior. This is fascinating. Okay, so you earn $50,000 a year. You hardly make it, really having a hard time. Another guy is making $50,000 a year. He's putting $10,000 aside, which is incredible, right? He's putting $10,000 aside as savings, and with compounding, we can talk compounding later. It's amazing what you can do with the money. Let's say you put $10,000 apart. The same people, the $50,000 that spends everything, and the $50,000 that the guy that just saves 10. If they both win the lottery and they earn $50 million, okay, and if they earn $50 million. The same guy that spend the money, they're going to spend the $50 million. The same guy that saved the money is going to manage that wealth completely different. So it's the pattern, the mindset that makes a difference, and not actually the money that you have. So to break things down is the first thing you have to do is look at your situation and find out how much you believe you would benefit from saving. what I mean by that is you got to also put some goals that are associated with values again, right? So you have the value, let's say you want to go on this sailing trip around the world, something silly. You have this goal of saving money to buy a new house. Everybody has that dream. So every time you're saving, as Misha said, you're adding a little bit more to that, and you repeat these values and the reason for saving. And this saving will actually go long ways, much longer than you thought, once you are disciplined and methodical about it and repeating it. So the big secret of this is breaking a big task into smaller tasks and repeating that, one after another. And by the way, guys, the worst killer, and I believe probably the big reason for, unfortunately 40%, very sadly, 40% of people don't have $400 for an emergency, is the debt issue. Credit card debt is the most killer of any financial life, right? I use credit cards. Misha uses credit cards. And the thing is that use of credit card is completely different from what actually the credit card companies want you to lose the credit cards. We pay the full amount of credit cards at the end of the month. And it's just for the convenience of control and benefits. For me, I give a lot of value to the miles. I love to fly for free. It's just amazing to fly for free. And the only purpose actually I use credit card, Misha, is to fly for free. And I don't want credit. I never use in my life a credit cent from it. And let me tell you, if you say, okay, that was because you all had means to do it. No, that is not true, right? That is not true. I started my financial life totally from scratch. And even if I didn't have a penny at the moment, when I started my first company when I was 21, didn't have a penny, I never used credit cards because I look at it like a toxic plastic element, which would ruin my life. So the only purpose of that credit card was for the convenience and for the miles and the benefits that I had. So you guys pay it off. If you have penalties, if you have interest rates that are just sucking that money, they're provoking this erosion of your wealth, just get rid of it. Get rid of it. Okay, you have past debt to pay, but stop. Make that decision today that you're not going to spend one more dime on a credit card on credit, right? And if you have a hard time on it, you know what you should do? Pick up the credit card with a pair of scissors and just cut it. Okay, just cut it and go back to debit. Because if you're not able to manage the credit card wisely, get rid of it. The worst thing you can do is to continue with the toxic element and continue on using it. So to wrap this up, most importantly, what you should do is think about values again, the values that you have. Think that, and then verify if those values are in line with the budget that are actually happening every day with you. And the third element is aim for saving for much bigger projects that are aligned with your values. So you can do something small today, but something much bigger in the future if you are saving for those projects that you only dreamed about. This is the discipline that we want to share with you. And it's all about breaking big tasks into smaller tasks so you can do it wisely, every month, every week, every day, whatever. Just pass that small amount of savings and you will see that you will be able to survive even with the savings with the savings methodology that we are sharing with you guys. So this is great. I think that we have covered quite a bit on the budgeting side, and I want to encourage you to have a mindset of a saver. If you're a saver, you're going to go much further in your life, and don't get deceived by the erosion of the debt that is killing you. So make that decision, stop it now, and progress with a new mindset for the future.
I totally agree, Ruben. Fantastic information. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Ruben, take it off.
I'm looking forward to see the comments, things that you might think that you disagree, or things that you have actually put in place that help you be disciplined in your budget, things that help you save money, What are the dreams and values that you are working on, and what are the little hacks that you do to achieve those goals? Great having you again. We look forward to next Monday. Will be wonderful again with a new theme. Thank you guys. Till next time.